So, we're getting some paint put on. Stick around. Welcome back to Atwood's Garage. Back in the basement shop again. And as you can see, I've started to paint the plasma table. Took it all apart yesterday. Got all the underside all painted up. The legs are all painted. Still painting the braces and the side pieces, and I still have the gantry yet to do. So that's today's project, is to get the gantry stripped, get all the electronics and the motors off of it and the switches, get it tore down so I can get some paint put on it. Thankfully my wife has been working this weekend, so the complaints of paint odor throughout the house have been at a minimum, but I can guarantee you she's been very, very patient with me as far as this. After 30 some years of being married, she's she's pretty much used to me. She knows I stay out of trouble. So anyways, stick around, get this gantry tore down. Be right back. Alright, first things first, need to get these electronics moved. We have lots of nuts and bolts and such to we'll try to take it all off as one piece. And I think for now I am not going to tear down my Z. It's just this plate here that needs to be painted, but there's a lot going on that plate. I'm not too overly concerned right now really of doing that, but it looks like I will have to pull. Yeah, I'll probably have to take the lower mounts off, the lower V rollers, to get it off. But first things first, let's get the rest of this rail off the back unbolted, like raceway. I mean, you can't see it, but it is what it is. Oh goodness, come off there. The reason I painted the base and everything to strip it all the way completely down is, frankly, I just don't have the room. Plus, I can use this now dry table to store everything. Those pieces, and I've got screws on the back. I did notice I'm having an issue with one of my conductors here on the motor. You can't see it on the camera, but apparently one of the pins pushed back slightly. And these motors operate on high frequency, so it's an AC signal. So yeah, it tended to arc a little bit. Alright, I know I got some screw hidden in here. And this stuff. There it is. Down the raceway, so I can get these Z. Do my belt retainers. My setup is using a. We stuck at it. We just stuck. There we go. I guess we're just stuck. I use just a cogwheel and belt for my drive. Cheap, easy. That's it. It's probably not robust enough to do any sort of, if you're doing like a milling machine, definitely use a ball screw setup or possibly a rack and pinion. I'm not sure what kind of backlash one of those might have. But for plasma cutting, the belt system's just fine. It's accurate enough given plasma cutting. But anyways, yeah, get these two lower rollers off. And that should free up my Z. Actually, I just gotta loosen them up. They're gonna get slotted for adjustment. This side, lay it back, just be able to lift it off. Oh. Off. Alright, that frees up gantry. Just gotta get these V rails off. Chunks of aluminum. Still got wiring over here to take care of. Switches. You need to come off. Motor. Disconnect the motor. Screw. That frees up your electronics outside the motors, which I'll need to go get some wrenches to take care of those because they are nutted on the other side. Get these V rails off. Stop. Undo lots and lots of screws. Those are much longer than they really need to be. must have ran out of the short screws. These are all 1/2 inch over here. The others are like 1 inch. Bottom V-rail. So this side. Top V-rail. So this side. Now I really should probably paint this 1 inch strap that it's bolted to. I don't know if I got the gumption to take all those nuts and bolts off. Alright, anyways. Back to the task at hand here. Get my belt retainers off. Here's some pieces I made up on my mill. I do not have any drawings on any of this table, actually. I just kind of took some ideas and started building. I never did drill the second hole for that one. Interesting. You get, there it goes. My bolt that acts as the home. I need rag. Gathered some dust over the years, sitting around the shop. Ouch. Alright, in order to get the entry off, I'm going to take the stop off. On earlier because I didn't want it accidentally falling off. And where do I want to set this? I guess it should be dry enough to lay up here. Take a few rags. I realize this thing will get chewed up and everything else, but well, I just like it at least look sort of nice. That's why I did painting the darn thing to begin with. Come on. Right off. Come on. Drag it on the legs. And as you can see, this is how I've got my rollers done. This has just bearings on this side. I got V bearings on this side. And then the belt runs along here, comes around here, wraps around the cog, comes around here, and comes around there. That's how I do my drive on both sides. So all this has to come apart so I can paint this son of a gun. Also, it looks like I need to get measure up for some proper bolts. Hit the local hardware store. And guess I'll be really careful. I don't want to damage it. I really don't want to take these apart, but it is what it is. Loosen everything up. Goodness. There it goes. This side. Now they're all loose. Hardware off here. And there's nothing fancy going on here. Basically, it's just a regular washer and washer, bearing and washer, and a couple more washers for stack up. The and washers are small. Allows the bearings to, it just pushes on the center of the bearings so the bearings can actually spin. And after all, they wouldn't be bearings, they'd just be spacers. This side. On this side, everything's slotted. This is my how I leveled the gantry to the table. So my torch height will stay true. I mean, I realize the material kind of warps and bends along the way, but having the ability to true to gantry so it's level with the table itself helps. At the moment I'm not running the torch height control. I've also found out that I am having interference issues with the plasma cutter itself. Unfortunately, I didn't realize when I bought it 5 or 6 years ago, I guess about 5 years ago now, that it uses a high frequency start for the plasma. And while there are thousands and thousands of tables out there that use high frequency start plasma cutters, special conditions have to be, there are considerations that have to be taken to in order to make it to work without basically EMPing my computer. If I strike an arc in open air, there's so much RF interference, my computer actually just loses its mind. Freezes up, usually just through the USB, but unplug the USB and everything goes turns back to normal. But if you unplug the USB, then you lose all your locations, and you have to rehome everything and try to pick up where you left off, etc., etc. It's obviously not a how you want to approach things. Anyway, all I got left here is the motors to take off. Let me go get the tools I need. I'll be right back. Okay. There we go, guys. How's that look? How's that look? All right. There we go. Some adjustments. Okay, gantry stripped. We'll go ahead and paint the underside of this. For now. And I'm just using a 2.5 inch, 3 inch roller, whatever this is here. Hopefully, this quart of paint will hold out. Right, my paintbrush. Use a paintbrush to do the put that out of my way. Rag to clean fingers with. Paint all my all the tight areas. Use a paintbrush. Hopefully it'll work here. Didn't dry out too badly overnight. Doesn't look like it. My edges here. Cleanly. All right. Here, thinking about 2 coats that get a good coverage on this. So the first coat just to get some coverage. Let it dry for a little while down here, and probably 45 minutes. Tacks up enough that I can run a second coat. Try to get as much stuff covered as I can. Edge. interestingly enough, plate steel seems to take more paint coverage than the rectangle tube. I'm not exactly sure why. It seems to be how it works out though. That roller's the easiest, fastest way to take care of this. I don't know if you could spray this easily enough. Spots touched up. These heat pumps, I'm sure they needed that as well. Backside rolled. I'm not too worried about dripping paint into my water table bed. I mean, after all, it's a water table bed. So, paint. Backside painted. The doggies are barking at. I imagine my son will be over for too long. My oldest son's on a weekend with his wife and kid in Kentucky. Decided to get away for a little bit. Hope they have a good weekend. He's had a lot of, or they, I should say correctly, been dealing with a lot of stuff lately. Not so much of them, just other people that's in there trying to take care of it, helping out. Fortunately, there are several people in their lives that haven't grown up yet. My kids, being the good kids that they are, try to help out. Usually leaves them with a headache. It is what it is. We'll figure it out. Alright, so other than the very top edge, which I can't do right now, that's where we're at. So stick around, we'll be back in about a half hour. Put on coat number 2. Oh, welcome back. I've got the second coat put on. Looking really good. Probably been about an hour or so since I did that. Still though, pretty tacky. We'll let it sit for till this evening. At least get the other rollers put on that side so I can get it flipped upside down and set on the rails. And then I'll do the top, which is still bare. I'll get 2 coats put on that tonight. But that's all we're getting done today, dude. You know, paint being paint. You just can't rush it. So anyway, this is Atwood's Garage. Working on the CNC. Got her painted up. Hope you all had a good weekend. I know I did. My granddaughter's upstairs. I'm going to spend the rest of the evening with her and my family. You all have a good evening. Good night.